Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, welcome back to the new project. Today we are going to make a start and we're going to get as much done to this car as we can. First thing we want to try and do, I think the first thing, there's so many things to do, get the steering wheel off, see if we can have a look at that ignition, see what we can do with that, and then we need to attack the front. So let's do it, let's get stuck in straight away, let's go. Get that in there. Crusty. I might as well start getting all this off and see if we can get this whatever I've done with the it's on the floor down there, the ignition lock, see if we can get it installed and see if it'll work, because if it does we can get the car started and when we get the battery back on tomorrow. So I've just got to get the wheel off, get the airbag off to start with. Let's do it. So it's handy not having to take off the top and bottom cowlings. It's already been done for me. Of course it's been broken, that. They always are, but that can be just glued back together again, that's fine. So that's the quickest way of getting it off, breaking it. Of course, thieves don't undo screws, do they? They just cut things. Dirty. What's it? Why won't they? Oh, that's it. Just about to say, why won't that airbag come off? Right. Take these connections off. That one. And that in. I hate these airbag connections. They're always tricky to get out. That's that. And then we need, I think I've got the right socket. I think it's a 24mm socket. This is the beauty of doing the same cars, you see. You know exactly what socket you need and so on. Now I'm going to have to grip this because obviously I've got no steering lock. Oh, that's it. Oh no, actually, if I turned the thing and took it out, the steering lock will go on, wouldn't it? But never mind, done it now. Take that out of there. Don't forget, if you do this, make sure the battery's disconnected. Put that there out of the way. Right, let me just, or is that already undone? It looks skew width, that. In my imagination, or is that skew width? It's probably probably where they've broken it, isn't it, I suppose. Right, let's go and get the little tool, the little torques to get that off. Right, I thought we might as well take those screws off before we take it off, because that's at least that means the screws aren't lost. So we'll put those in there, and then we just glue this back onto the other bit, which is handy. I've glued these before because sometimes I've broken these myself. They're just like a little plastic weld that breaks. You just put them back together and they come off quite easy. Right, we've got the one torque screw up here, which, you know, I know where it is. I'm going to feel my way around and then undo it. Again, you know, it's good that this, I know my way around these cars. I know exactly where all these little bits and pieces are. That's definitely skew width, that. I reckon they've done this with their foot. Hopefully they haven't broken it. So you don't have, I was just about to say, you don't have to take that out, even though it's just fallen out. But we'll put it back in. And then you pull. I mean, we have to hope, of course, they haven't bent the steering column. I don't suppose they have, but disconnect the, I think it takes something to bend the steering column. So we got that bit, which we're gonna take out. So that makes the steering lock go on. So we'll put that in there, because what I'm hoping is we can just insert that bit back into there once I've got this off. So we take the electrical connections off. There's no wire cutting that's gone on here at all. It was just purely to bypass the steering lock. I can't get that cable off. Probably easier when the thing's disconnected, but now I see. 1, 2. Alright, get those out of the way. It was a bit of a pain. As you can see, I've taken this off as well. Trying to get to that other bolt, and I managed to get the hole, the slot, and then I couldn't get it undone. In the end, I managed to do it with a little socket wrench. I was trying to use longer and longer screwdrivers to give me more leverage, but it turned out this was the best one. They are always a pain, these. They're always difficult to get to, and what I had to do was smash off what was left of this, because that was stopping the cutting tool from getting in there. There we go. That's it. Oop. Okay. So what I think is, if I have got the black bit, that will just go straight back into that and will work. And then when the battery's connected, we'll have power. Right, I found it. Here it is. So I think it's the entire thing. So that bit is that bit, but then that bit goes over the top of it. So I think it is the whole thing, you know. Key has got to go in, otherwise you can't depress that bit. But then when you get it in, so it doesn't go far, it's not going far enough, I don't think. No, it's going in even less distance now. Yeah, no, it's still not going all the way home. So it's either something to do with the end of this, or it's that other piece, and I don't know which. So hopefully we'll buy another one of those and it will include that bit, and then that would just fit in, hopefully. Unless this is damaged, we don't know. I've had the battery on charge all night. Battery charger, as you know, they start off down here on red, and then over time as it's charging it goes up, pointing at it, it creeps up and up and up till it goes up to there, and then it goes green. When I just came down and opened the garage door, that was it had gone back onto standby. Now all yesterday afternoon while I was out here working, it was on that single red one which was pulsing, but I've connected the top DOM to it and it says battery too low, retest after charging, and shows 6.41 volts. So whether that's destroyed the battery, I don't know, but what I'll do is I'm going to put the battery charger in repair mode and try it again. That's really annoying. So I have got a couple of old batteries down there which do work, but I don't know if they've got any charge in them. because I wanted to be able to try and see if I can get to it actually. I wanted to be able to put the battery in and see what the mileage is on the Speedo. Never mind, anyway, let's do that. Well, I've found this old battery, so I've got two. That one is completely dead. That said 0% charge, 0% health. This one said 0% health, 1% charge, but it has got the old green light there, if you can see it. So it probably just needs a charge. I'll put it in. I don't know if it's going to work, I don't know if there's going to be any power on it. Let's have a look. I'm not going to try and start. I'm not going to try and start it. I'd have trouble start. Yeah, we got power. Oh, look at that, here you go. 36,644 miles. Low mileage or what? So that's done virtually no miles since that was last MOT'd. Barely any. There's a burning smell. Not coming from the car. Just wondering if it's this battery. Oh, that's that bloody bonnet catch again. I thought that it did that yesterday. No, I think it's someone burning something somewhere. It's not coming from the car. I'd be worried for a second. Right, I'll disconnect that anyway. So we've got this one in repair mode now. So once it's finished its repair mode, you then charge it again. So I'll try that again. If it's no good, I'll have to buy another one. Okay, so we know we've got this pipe. Don't have a clue how this is connected. Well, we can see that's how it's connected. Down the back there somewhere, so I'm not really sure. I think I can see it actually. I think there's just a... Yeah, there is. I can see the bolt actually. I think it's a hex bolt, the same as the one that comes down here. So that should be easy enough to get off. Now the other one, I'm not so sure, but what I want to do, I've found a couple, there's maybe 3 or 4 on eBay. Now they seem to vary. They seem to look different. Now I don't know whether it's just these bits, but you know, the route it travels has got to be the same on the same engined cars, on the same sort of year cars. So what I wanted to do is get that off if I can, and then compare it to the pictures on eBay before I go buying one. Right, so the bolt at the back here, if you can hopefully see it, is just a standard 10mm. So hopefully this will come undone without too much grief. So that should now, I think, apart from the wherever it's held in by brackets, which I've got to try and prise out. That's that one. We've got one at the back here, which is a little bit out of the way. You know what? I've got my glasses on that go dark. I could do with my other glasses. Let's come undone. Yep. Now, are there any more holding it? Shouldn't be. Nope. However, how do you get it out from there? Do you have to undo this one to move that one out of the way? It's a possibility. Usual daft design by Fiat, because I can't get that down. Can you believe it? It will come out eventually, and I'll get the other one back in again as well, of course. There we go, out. Whew. There it is. I'm not going to put that one back on just yet. I'm going to try and take the other one off. So I'm going to take the airbox off and see if we can get to it. So let me just get that airbox off and I'll come back. Yeah, so I think... Am I zooming in on the right place? I'm not even sure. Yeah. So just to the left of that pipe, see right in the centre of the picture, I believe that is the nut for that pipe. Right, if you can see the screen of my phone, I'm zoomed in as far as I can go because I couldn't get my hand around and feel. I thought I was mistaken. And it wasn't that one, but if I go around here, feel the pipe, and then I can see that that is the bolt. There you go, so it's that way, it is that one. Yeah, I couldn't get to it, even with an ordinary spanner, just can't get to it. So I've jacked the car up, put some chocks under the wheels, under the back wheels, on 2 axle stands. Gives me loads of clearance, or it should give me loads of clearance to be able to get underneath and get to that thing. Once I've got it off, I'll come back and I'll get the camera under there and show you. Right, it came off easy. Well, the nut did. It's just a nut, little 10mm nut. And now we've got to try and get the actual thing itself off, which hopefully will just pull off. He says. Yes, there we go. Pull that off of there. Get it out of the way. Get me gloves caught now. There we go. Oh, it's easy. Much easier than I thought it was going to be. But I haven't got it out yet, but nearly there. It's getting stuck on something. No. Yay! That's it. It's off. So despite that having a new oil filter and brand new oil in that, I thought while I got that off I'll check the air filter, and that's definitely up for renewal. Look at the state of that. It's dirty. Very dirty. Right, so I put the new filter in and I've given that a good old clean up. That's nice and clean. And I've also cleaned up the throttle body. That's all nice and clean now. As I say, I'm not putting that back on. I'll just leave it in the battery tray for the time being. The battery's still in repair mode. I don't know how long that takes, but I'll just leave it until it stops. I suppose we may as well start putting this front panel together, the radiator on and everything. Okay, we're getting there, aren't we? So that's all built up now. You may have seen on time lapse that I changed the horn. The horn that I was going to put on it, it's got a different bracket and it didn't fit. I remember that from when I took that off. Well, I had that. I don't know where it came from, but yeah, I don't know why it's different. Must be a different front panel for some sort. Maybe it's off of might be off of a facelift, possibly. That might be why. I can't remember where it came from. One thing I wanted to comment on, the radiator I bought is an EIS one. It's a German make. It was a cheap one, you know, cheap aftermarket, but as you know, when you go buy the cheap ones, because these are dual use, that is open to the world and you have to put a bung on it. It's not on this one. It's closed as it should be on the Fiat 500. And it's not that white colour, it's yellow, which is more like the OEM one. And also, it came with these as well. They never come with those. I mean, I've got those, but it came with those. So I would make sure in future I buy the EIS ones. I'm not sure if I bought them before or not, but at the time I bought it, the really cheap ones, which are like 10, 15 quid cheaper, weren't available. And that was the next cheapest. So I'll make sure I buy those in future. Yeah, well good. Right, that's all built up. Luckily, you may have seen during the time lapse, look what I found. I found the radiator cables. So I'm going to join them now. Much easier to join them before the front panel's on. So I'll get that done now. The only other thing that I thought about, why I thought about it last night, I don't know, was the horn. So the horn's been ripped off. So I'm hoping I've got a plug somewhere within my box of horns. Okay, as you saw, that's all been done. Luckily I had these plugs. They've all been soldered using the old solder joints down there. Great, those things. It's the first time I've used the bigger ones. I used the blue ones on here because they're much thicker wires, and used the yellow ones. Sorry, other way around. The yellow ones are the bigger ones. Use the yellow ones there and the blue ones on that one. I've never had to use those ones before. That's why I bought all these red ones, because generally you tend to use the red ones. So that's all done. The only thing I've got to do is try and find a horn plug now, and everything else is done. We had, luckily, you know, because I've got all the spare parts, we had all the bolts for the radiator, we had the brackets down the bottom, got loads of those. It's always good when you collect these things. So that now, catch is already on there. I think that's now ready to go on. Yeah, it is. That's all ready to go on now. So I just realised something that will be much easier to do with the front panel off is the earth strap. So I'm going to do that first before I put the front panel. If you look at it, it's quite frayed there. It's obviously the original. It's quite frayed. It's quite green. So yeah, I'm going to do that, as I've got one, and I do like to do them on these cars now. Just a bit of belt braces really for you know, starting problems, electrical problems, and so on. You can avoid if you can. So yeah, let's set you up. Let's get that done. Got to get the battery tray out obviously first. So yeah, let's do it. Get that. Oh, that's all. Ooh, what is all that? It's grease. Horrible. Yeah. There you go, that's that out. Horrible, that is. Why that's so greasy. Right, now what size bolts were these? I think these were 13s, weren't they? Right, in case you don't know what I'm doing, I don't know how much you can see here, I'm releasing the bolts on the clutch. Oh, I smell of gas. Releasing the bolts on the clutch slave, because the bolt we need to get undone is underneath that. And then we move that out of the way without letting the oh, there's a right strong smell of gas. Just move that out of the way without letting the piston shoot out if we can. We'll just prop it somewhere so it doesn't come out. There. Oh, no, it's not coming out anyway, that's good. Right. That's that off. I just realised that I actually took that whole thing out when it's just got a bolt on the top of it, hasn't it? Interesting. So we might have to get that in a vise, because you've got a thread and then that goes on the top, and then you've got a nut on the top of that. So I'm going to have to get that in a vise and try and get that out. Bear with me a second. Let me just do this. See what I mean? Look, you can see that. You've got a bolt that goes right in, and then you've got that nut that goes on the top that holds that on. Stupid design, but there you go. Let me just get this off and be back. New earth strap on, took the old one off, which is here, which as you can see is quite corroded. Probably okay, but I like to change them anyway. Obviously we've had to take the clutch slave cylinder out, because the bolt stupidly is under there. We've greased that up a little bit. I put it all back, and we just need to clean up the battery tray because it's got what looks like oil over it. I don't know why that would be. It's horrible. So we'll give that a clean, and then we'll put that back in. And apart from having to find a couple more bolts for the top of the front panel, which I will have, as I said, we can then get that front panel on and all buttoned up, and we can actually fill it with coolant. Shame we can't start it, but we can actually fill it up with coolant. So yeah, let's get that cleaned up, get that battery tray back, and then I'm going to go and have some lunch, and then I'm going to get that front panel on. Okay, so that's on, as you can see. I haven't put the bottom bar on yet because that's the one that potentially stops the bumper from going on properly. So before I go any further, I want to just offer up the bumper and see how it fits. The headlight, the lovely condition headlight, this one's alright actually. It's not bad. Bit of glue or something over it, but it's got a broken bracket on this one, only the one bracket. I'll do that another time. It's got to come off anyway because I've got to what have I got to do? I've got to do the aircon pipes when I get them. The other light is possibly coming tomorrow. Number plates are on their way. The lock set is coming tomorrow, but of course that's the lock set that I might not need. I'm hoping I don't need it because that was $124.99. It was not $119, so quite expensive they are now. It's all gone up in price, and you can't seem to buy any lock sets without buying the ECUs. You always used to be able to buy key, ignition barrel, petrol cap and door lock. Just those, and you get them for like 40-50 quid. Now you have to buy the entire thing, including the ECUs, which I've got no use for the ECUs. I'll probably end up just selling the ECUs individually as they are, because they are of use to someone. They can be virginized and reused, so they do have a value. But potentially I will keep the entire thing because I'm bound to buy another stolen recovered car that I will need them, but it's that, I think it's that barrel that I need. That won't be coming tomorrow, but I don't know when that's going to be coming. That probably won't come to the weekend, I don't suppose. Right, what we're going to do, oh yes, I do believe when I was rooting around for a couple of bolts, I got a feeling, where is it, where are you? I got a feeling that that is the horn. So I need to chase back the wires, look at the colours, two wires, which sounds about right. I'm pretty sure that is the horn. So I'll have to try that in a minute. If it is, I'll solder it on. So yeah, it's all coming together nicely. So I am going to now, I'm just going to connect up, I haven't yet connected up the, haven't yet connected this up, so I'll connect that up, and then we'll offer up the bumper, the white bumper, which is of course, is not going to stay on the car, but for the time being, it will. And then we need to get painting on that other one, don't we? But as I say, the only thing I wanted to do at the moment, before we go back on the old bath, is get this running. Because it's in the way, because I like to get the old bath here to do my service and what have you. But yeah, that's where we are at the moment. We'll offer the bumper up in a sec, and we'll see what it looks like. Right. Put those bolts on there ready. Let's go and get the bumper. let's just put a bolt in there to stop it falling. Oh, maybe I should have put one in the other. Ow! Squashed my fingers. Put one in the other side as well. Right. I hate this when your headlights appear to be too high. That's it. Oh, we've got a bolt in there. I can't actually get that all the way in. I'll have to undo that bolt. I guess they ripped the bumper out, didn't they? Yeah, without taking the bolts out. So I need to get those 2 bolts out. Let me just do that. Well, I managed to get the driver's side one off, undone, but the other one was just solid with rust. Eventually got it to move, but then the riv nut was moving as well, so it's solid. So I've had to cut it off for now. I'll probably try and cut the riv nut out from the other side, and then if I can, put another riv nut in. I have got a riv nut gun and riv nuts, but I've never much luck using them, but I will give it a go to do it properly. Failing that, it'll be a nut and bolt. But yeah, that's now we've done that, it should hopefully it should just slip in now. Let's try it. Right, obviously we've not got a light in this side, but oh, the bloody the foam things come off, don't they always? Right, we'll have to get some tape and tape that back on. Let's get some tape, let's get that out of the way. So that can be the one that's the troublesome one, and it's nice to eliminate everything else. I'm putting this on. I am going to take it off again because I want to do that horn. But I'm just trying to do a little test fit at the moment. Right, let's try that again. So hopefully I'll shut it and I'll be able to open it again. Oh, blimey, it's nowhere near. Why is that not closing then? Now that, okay, no, that means, so the front panel isn't too low, it's too high. Yeah, quite a bit too high, that's why. So once you drop that down, once you drop it down, of course that will drop that bit down, which will then equal it up, yeah. So it's too high, not too low. Right, I put the jack under it, took the tension, loosened all 4 bolts, sorry, all 8 bolts, released the jack, let it go down a little bit, and then tightened to the 2 top bolts up. So now we'll see if it will shut, which it doesn't. That may be alignment issue rather than too high, so I'm going to have a little fiddle with this and see if we can get it to close, because it might just be the catch is in the wrong place, needs moving up or down. Right, it's taken me a little bit of jiggery pokery. I thought it was something at the side that was stopping it, and I've gone all the way to the left, all the way up, all the way to the right, all the way up, down, etc, etc, and there was something just stopping it. And it just wouldn't go all the way down, no matter what I did. And then I remembered, once upon a time in the past when I've done this, the catch, I have changed the catches as well, I put a different one on, it was exactly the same. The catch was too far back. So what I've done, as I've done before, it is a bit Heath Robinson, but I've just taken a hammer and I've slightly moved the catch so it's tilted forward and it's shut. It is slightly over to the left, this way, the other left. So I'm going to move the hinge, the catch. Oh my God. I'm going to move the catch over to the right a little bit. Let's hope it opens. Yes. Phew, that's always a bonus. Perfect. And it's moved it over as well. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Excellent. So let's offer this up again. So I'm hoping now it's lower. This bumper will just go on now. Let's move that bit of wood out of the way. Let's try this side first. No, it still don't feel right. Yeah, it's still not right. I can't have to go down lower still, surely. What's stopping it? Oh, you know what it was? It was the arch liner was in the way, I think. Yeah, we definitely need a new brackets. The brackets are broken, and that. See, the arch liner's got stuck in there again. That's what it was. That's all it was. Oh, for heaven's sake! There. And we've also got a piece of the bolt still there as well. We'll have to file that down a bit more. I don't want to push that in too much because that'll break that. There you go. If I place it over it, it's in the right place, like that. That's fine. Don't know if you can see that. Both sides, I think. Oh, that's it. It's a little bit low there, but I'm sure we can. It might be the arch liner again. Bloody arch liners, I've never had that before, the arch liners getting in the way. There you go. Yeah, once that's got a bolt in, that'll be okay, I think. Yeah, once that's obviously bolted up properly. Yeah, look at that. Fantastic. So yeah, what a cracker, eh? Really, really good day's work on this today. We've done a lot and it's all gone relatively swimmingly. So I think all the parts I need are now on order. Some are coming tomorrow, some will hopefully be here by the weekend, and then we can carry on with it next week. I am at work tomorrow and the following day, and then I'm off again on Friday. So I'm hoping to be able to continue on Friday. If anything's turned up on Friday, gives me 3 days, doesn't it? So hopefully, I'm hoping that ignition barrel will arrive, because once that's arrived and we get that on and try it with that old lock, we'll put I know we haven't done the aircon yet, but I'm hoping they come as well. We can do them on Friday. And then we can start it up. Hopefully we've got a battery that's charged. Is it still going? Yeah, it's still going. We'll come back to that in the morning. Not in the morning, I'll be off early to work in the morning, but we'll have a look later on this evening. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button up in the corner. That we're not the one in the corner. Hit the subscribe button down there. We are well on our way to the next 1,000, or certainly to the next 500. It's going really great guns now. So yeah, next milestone is, well, not next milestone is 10,000, but that's what we're aiming for, 10,000 by the end of this year, and I think we'll make it easy, hopefully, with your help. So if you're not a subscriber, hit that button. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed today. The work we've done on here, with a couple of little revelations with the aircon pipes. Never done that before. We know how to do it now. Although we haven't put the new ones on yet, that might be challenging in itself, but that will come in the next video, hopefully. So yeah, so that's it. So thanks for watching. As always, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.